The old man walked to the well every day to fetch water, carrying a thick stick with 2 jugs hanging from each end. One of the jugs was perfect, without a single flaw, while the other had a crack. Every time the old man returned home, half of the water from the cracked jug would spill along the way. Despite this, the old man continued to use both jugs for his needs. The perfect jug was always full of water, proud of its flawlessness and reliability. The cracked jug, however, constantly felt ashamed of its defect and guilty for the lost water. 2 years passed, and one day the cracked jug couldn't hold back and said to the old man, "I am very embarrassed and ashamed. Because of the crack in my side, half of the water is lost before we reach home." The old man smiled and replied to the jug, "Didn't you notice? The side of the road on your side is full of beautiful flowers, while the other side of the road has no flowers." The old man continued, "I knew about your crack from the very beginning. That's why I planted flower seeds along the road on your side. Every day, as we walk back home, you water those flowers. Thanks to you, I can enjoy these beautiful flowers that decorate my home every day. If it weren't for your crack, I wouldn't be able to make my home so beautiful and flourishing. You bring me not just water, but beauty into my life. So, there's no need to be ashamed of your imperfection. You are special and make the world around us better." Hearing these words, the cracked jug stopped feeling guilty about its crack and began to take pride in what it did. From then on, the cracked jug started to see itself differently, understanding that even its flaws could be useful and bring joy. The story of the old man and the jugs shows us that even in our imperfections, we can find positive aspects and use them for good. We often focus on our flaws, forgetting that they can bring something good and unexpected into our lives and the lives of those around us. Each of us is unique and has our own traits that make us who we are. These traits form our uniqueness and irreplaceability. It's important to learn to see our flaws not as problems but as opportunities for growth and creating something beautiful. The old man, despite the crack in the jug, found a way to use it to create beauty around him, demonstrating his wisdom and ability to see the good in every aspect of life. This story also reminds us that our weaknesses can become our strengths if we approach them with understanding and respect. Every person can find a way to use their flaws for their own good and the good of others if they are open to it and ready to look for unconventional solutions. The old man and his jugs became an example of how we can turn our weaknesses into strengths and create beauty even where it seems it cannot be. It's important to remember that each of us is capable of bringing joy and beauty into this world, regardless of our flaws and imperfections. This story teaches us to be kinder to ourselves and others, to see the positive sides in every situation, and to strive to create something beautiful even in difficult conditions. The old man showed by his actions that true wisdom lies in the ability to find the good in every aspect of life and use it for the better. We can learn a lot from the old man and his jugs if we are willing to see our flaws not as problems but as opportunities for growth and creation. Every day we are given the chance to make the world around us better by using our unique traits and abilities. The cracked jug taught us that even the most seemingly useless things can become sources of beauty and joy if approached with the right perspective. The story of the old man and the jugs also reminds us that everything in life is relative, and what we consider a flaw can become our strength. We must learn to accept ourselves as we are and find ways to use our traits for our own good and the good of others. There is something unique and special in each of us that can bring joy and beauty to this world if we are willing to see it and use it. The old man, by his example, showed us that even the most unexpected things can become sources of inspiration and beauty if approached with an open heart and mind. Each of us can make the world around us better if we are ready to see our flaws not as problems but as opportunities for creation. The story of the old man and his jugs reminds us that there is something special in each of us that can make the world around us more beautiful and joyful.